Why would a healthy cat walk away from their favorite meal? The answer lies in a hidden, defensive shutdown triggered by stressors you might not even notice. We need to strip away the spoiled pet myth and look at something deeper: the raw, primal anxiety that forces a domestic feline to prioritize safety over hunger. If your cat refuses food, it's not stubbornness, it's survival. To understand this, you have to understand what a cat truly is. A cat is both an apex predator and small prey. They hunt, but they are also hunted. That dual identity creates constant vigilance in their nervous system. In the wild, eating is one of the most dangerous moments in a cat's day. When a cat lowers its head to eat, vision narrows, the neck becomes exposed, reaction time slows. They can't fully scan their surroundings, and for an animal wired for 360-degree awareness, that moment of reduced surveillance feels risky. Your kitchen may look calm and harmless, but your cat's biology doesn't see modern comfort. It scans for blind spots, it maps escape routes, it calculates exposure. While you see a bowl of food on the floor, your cat evaluates the entire environment before taking a single bite. If that environment doesn't pass their internal safety check, appetite shuts down. Now consider where most food bowls are placed: middle of the room, high traffic hallway, near doorways, in open floor plans. To you, that's convenient. To your cat, that's exposure. Cats naturally prefer walls behind them, or corners that reduce the number of directions they need to monitor. If their back is protected, they only need to scan what's in front. But place that bowl in the center of a room, and suddenly, they must monitor everything front, sides, behind. That cognitive load alone increases stress. Now add subtle household triggers: a refrigerator motor starting, a chair scraping across tile, footsteps approaching, another pet walking by, a sudden hand reaching down. Each of these events can activate a micro-fight or flight response. Even tension between people in the home can register. Cats are highly sensitive to body language, tone shifts, and emotional energy. Here's where it becomes psychological. If a cat experiences fear or disruption while eating in a specific location, the brain can create what's called a negative spatial association. The bowl itself isn't the problem. The location becomes marked as unsafe. Even if the stressor never happens again, the memory stays encoded. So your cat approaches the bowl, sniffs it, circles it, maybe vocalizes, but walks away. You assume they're picky. Their nervous system is saying, "This is not secure." Now, let's talk about what's happening inside their body. When a cat perceives threat, cortisol levels rise. Cortisol is a survival hormone. It prepares the body for action, but cortisol also suppresses appetite. Digestion is a secondary function. Survival comes first. A body that believes it may need to run at any second does not prioritize eating. Eating requires calm. It requires parasympathetic activation. It requires safety. This is why you might see a cat pacing near food, meowing, even looking hungry yet refusing to take a bite. Hunger does not override fear. If stress becomes prolonged, survival mode becomes the default. And when that happens, appetite suppression can become chronic. Weight loss begins, energy drops, health declines. The root issue was never flavor preference. It was environmental threat detection. So how do you correct it? Start with location. Move the feeding station against a wall or into a corner with clear sight lines across the room. Avoid placing it in walkways or near sudden traffic flow. You want your cat to feel like they have control of the space. Elevation can also help. Raised feeders or wall-mounted platforms simulate high ground. Height creates advantage. Advantage reduces vulnerability. Consistency is equally important. Feeding at random times increases uncertainty. A consistent schedule builds predictability. Predictability lowers stress. When your cat learns that food arrives at the same time in the same secure place, their nervous system begins to relax, and relaxation restores appetite. But there's one more layer. In the wild, animals often rely on others to act as lookout while they eat. In your home, that role falls on you. If you move calmly, if you avoid sudden gestures, if you stand nearby without looming over them. You communicate safety. Your presence can either increase vigilance or reduce it. Watch for signs of relaxation while they eat. Ears steady, flicking constantly. Tail resting naturally. Chewing without freezing every few seconds. Slow blinking between bites. Those are neurological signals that their guard is lowering. When your cat eats calmly in your presence, it's not just about hunger, it's trust. Trust reduces cortisol. Reduced cortisol restores digestion. Restored digestion supports long-term health. What looks like picky behavior is often a survival calculation happening beneath the surface. Your cat is not being dramatic. They are following instincts that kept their species alive for thousands of years. When they refuse food, they are not rejecting you. They are responding to perceived vulnerability. Shift the environment. Reduce exposure. Create predictable routines. Act as quiet security instead of unpredictable movement. When safety is restored, appetite follows. And when your cat feels safe enough to lower their head and eat without hesitation, you haven't just solved a feeding issue. You've built psychological security, and that's the foundation of trust, health, and long-term well-being.